That's mindful.
Okay.
I did start.
Okay. I'm going to first start by introducing myself. I'm Christine Barr. I'm a new member here, started to come in November. And I love the classes so much. And I'm a feng shui master. So I decided that I could
What did you
contribute
say about master?
feng shui.
Oh,
I'm a feng shui master. I'm a certified feng shui master. And I've been practicing for over 20 years.
hope you give a class.
I could give it a class. So as I was telling you privately, that I do this for my family, my friends, I do it for clients, I do it for corporations sometimes. So it's just felt good for me to do it here today. I also want to thank people who have made this happen, and especially Barbara, who's sitting behind me. Thank you, Barbara. She scheduled the talk and she helped put the PowerPoint together for me, as well as doing many other things. I also had help from people in the office. I had Andrea, and Johan. They made copies for me for the presentation. And I also had Gigi, who's a social worker, for when I first started coming. We would chit chat because she knew I was a Chinese astrologer, and she encouraged me to do the talk. I also want to thank Jeannie, my neighbor, who reached out to her Chinese friend, who lives in London now, but goes to China for Chinese New Year. And she shared with me all of her rituals they do in her village. So,
Where's the village? Sorry.
I forget the name of
That's
it.
okay.
Zhaozong, I think. Zhaozong or Zhaozong. So China's a huge country.
Yeah.
And they have all different provinces. And it's sort of like with Italy before Garibaldi. They all speak different dialects, they have different traditions, and they don't really get along. So it's only at a certain point where one of the emperors made Mandarin the universal language. Because otherwise, if you come from Shanghai, you speak a different dialect. In Canton, you speak Cantonese. So people couldn't understand each other. So they did for communication. So we're going to discuss why there are two Chinese New Years. Because Chinese have two calendars. They have a solar calendar and a lunar calendar. The solar calendar is based on the Earth's rotation around the sun. The seasons are defined by the spring equinox, the summer solstice, the autumn equinox, and the winter solstice. If I'm talking too fast, tell me, because I can just too fast, just tell me to slow down. So the first day of the solar year is always February 4th, which defines the first day of spring. So how is this day chosen? An ancient emperor, Chinese emperor, had a hollow bamboo pole placed in the earth, deep in the earth, with a feather at the bottom. When the feather rose to the top, that was declared the first day of spring. The significance is that the core of the earth heats up and sends a signal for the roots of the plants to start growing. So it's primarily a day for agriculture, so that it informs the farmers that the growing season has begun. In the West, we observe spring later, when we see the new growth and we see buds on the trees. It falls between March 19th and March 21st. It's almost 2 months later. So when we see something, it's already happening. The Chinese do it when it starts. Okay. Now onto the lunar calendar. The basis is the moon's orbit around the Earth. This creates months with different numbers and different days. Chinese New Year can fall anywhere from January, mid-January to mid-February. It changes every year. This is why the whole birthday is used in Chinese astrology. Someone tells me, I go, what's your birthday? Give me the year. I go, I have to know the month and the date because I don't know which year you're actually in. So if you're born in January or February, it determines the year you're in. For example, this year, if you're born before the 17th, which is today, which is the first day of the horse year, you'd be a wood snake, which belongs to last year.
Huh.
Both calendars are used in China. The solar is for agriculture, and the lunar is for forecasting. Okay, we can have the first slide. Okay, so every year has a birth date, and this is called the 4 pillars chart. Each pillar has a heavenly stem and an earthly branch. The stem is an element, and the branch is an element. Every element and every animal is yin or yang. So we have 8 elements, and we have 8 yin and yangs in a chart. So in the analysis of this chart, we have 8 yang, no yin. That means that it's out of balance. There's only yang, there's no yin. Out of the 5 elements, which are earth, wood, fire, metal, and water, 5 elements, we have 1 earth, 1 wood, 4 fires, 1 metal, and 1 water. Fire dominates. With 4 fires, 50% of the elements are fire. So that means you have a ratio of 4 to 1. 4 fires to 1 other element. So we know this is also unbalanced. Like all yang, you got all fire. So now we can show the next chart. The one after this. We just discussed this. Okay. This is what we're just asking about, the yin yang symbol. The symbol represents duality. Is when opposites can coexist. So for example, yin is the dark, yang is the light. Yin is night, yang is day. Yin is moon, yang is sun. Yin is female, yang is male. Yin is stillness, yang is action. Yin is receptive, yang is reactive. Yin is inward, yang is outward. Yin is perspective, and yin is movement. Okay. So with all this yang energy, it's unbalanced. It is bold, aggressive energy with unstoppable drive. The problem is that this can lead to impulsive decisions and emotional burnout. It's like too much go, go, go. So how do you bring the yin and yang more into balance? You do it with mindfulness, awareness, self-control, and focus. You ride the energy instead of being carried away by the energy. You prioritize sleep and rest. You meditate. You do grounding exercise such as Tai Chi and Qigong. You avoid excessive multitasking. You don't overextend yourself. And you maintain connections with your family, friends, and clubs. You maintain relationships.
You said family?
I mean,
I'm sorry, you maintain family, friends, and
clubs, like here,
Clubs.
come here, the clubs, you maintain relationships. Okay, we can do the next step. Okay. I think we did this already. Let's double check. Okay, so what we're gonna talk about now is that we know that fire dominates in the element chart. So we have fire up there. It is 50%. And we know that the horse is fire. So it's a double fire year. So fire is explosive, volatile, bold, they're leaders, transformative, and it symbolizes change, evolution, and rebirth. So fire is very transformative. The horse loves freedom, strength, power, movement, loyalty, and independence. So how
Say
many?
those again?
Sure. Horse loves freedom, strength, work strong, and run a long time. Power, horse can pull things, has a lot of carry people. Movement, horse can run for days. Very loyal. Horses are loyal. And they're very independent. So it means the horse sometimes just does what it wants. Like the horse would sometimes head first into the barn, right? So having the fire horse and fire, double fire, right? Fire horse. So in one, it amplifies vitality and intensity of the year. So the year is very more vital and it's more intense. It gives the horse boldness. The extra fire gives it more boldness. It's a kind of fearless expression. It can bring volatility. There's too much. But it needs to be balanced. It encourages people to take risks. The flames burn off the old and make way for the new. Okay, we have the next chart, please. So this is what we were just talking about. The animals, the branches, and whatever. We have the next one. Okay. This is the 5-element cycle. And it shows the circle shows creation. Metal creates water, water creates wood, wood creates fire, fire creates earth, earth creates metal. So this is the 5-element cycle. The arrows show control. So water controls fire. So to control fire, we have to use water. And the preferred method, feng shui, but we use feng shui in a lot of astrology because it's part of the 5 profound studies. It's integral with astrology and Chinese culture, they're all woven together. Is the qi of moving the water.
Is what?
Say that again?
The qi, the energy of moving water, not just stagnant. So all of these elements have different dimensions. So you can have water can be ocean, which is deep. It can be a river, which is fast. If you drop a glass of water, it spills. It can be too thin. So the water we need this year to control the fire is moving water. So this involves adding moving water to your environment. A good solution is a tabletop fountain with moving water. And you can go online, you can look up feng shui fountains, and there's lots of zillion of them. I have one at home that's a dragon, and he's got a ball, and the dragon spits out the water, and the ball turns and it lights up. That's a lot of moving water. So I have that always going in my bedroom. 24, not 24/7, but during the day, all year. And I use it for feng shui adjustment.
During
So-
the day or year?
This year, if you have a fountain with a ball or wheel, the water moves. So another aspect of this is that you have to keep on adding the water. Because of the little fountains, right? So that shores up the intention. Every time you put water in it, you know you're adding to the chi of moving water. It reinforces the commitment. So
And you do that, sorry, all year round?
I do it all
every day,
year round in my
during
bedroom
the day,
during the day.
and not in the night?
No. Shut it off at night. And that's for feng shui adjustment in my bedroom. Because in my bedroom I have a money corner. And I use it to create more money. I have a money table.
Will you be explaining what feng shui is?
Sure.
Okay.
I can tell you that later. We can have the next chart. Okay, so this is also a picture of the chi of money running water. So you can hang prints of big waves like this, which is a famous Japanese print by Hakusai from 1831. So I also have this in my apartment, and I use it to direct water energy from one space to another. But in feng shui, I also empower it to do it. I give it its job. So you can also have, if you like, photographs, with great photographs of these surfers on these giant waves. And they look like this big on these big giant waves in California and Portugal. You can have a picture of that. But this also enforces the chi of moving water in your environment. You can also use the color blue and black. That's the color of water. You can wear blue and black, or you can decorate. You can add blue or black pillows to your couch. You can get a blue or black rug. You can paint you can introduce some throws on your bed that are blue and black.
Is this something that should be this year?
This year.
This year.
This is all about this year. This is what you're trying to control the water. I mean the fire. The water controls fire. Moving water is the best cure.
Do you have to have blue and black or just blue?
Either.
Either, very nice, thank you.
Either. Okay. So now we're going to talk about some of the traditions. Preparation for lunar Chinese New Year starts 2 weeks before, and it ends officially 2 weeks after. It's a big deal. It goes on for a month in China. On a designated day, approximately 2 weeks before Chinese New Year, a special meal is prepared. Before eating the meal, fireworks or firecrackers are set off. Now, fireworks ward off evil spirits and clear the space for good luck to enter. So, like in Chinatown, they have fireworks, Chinese New Year. That's to get rid of the evil spirits and to clear the space for good luck. Then after you eat, you thank the year god, the kitchen god, for looking after your whole family for the past year. So in China, they may have a print or a statue of the kitchen god. But in feng shui, your stove and your kitchen is very important. It's how you feed yourself, and it's how you nourish your family, and it's how you prosper. So it's a very important room in Chinese culture. So you thank him for the year. From that day on, you start preparing for the new year.
It's 2 weeks ahead.
2 weeks
2
ahead.
weeks ahead of today. Oh.
No, it would have been 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Today is Chinese New Year. So next year you can do it. So what you would do is you clean your house thoroughly. I mean, the Chinese go crazy. They wash the windows, they wash all the floors, they change all the bedding. A lot of Chinese get a new outfit for Chinese New Year Day. and you declutter. So you remove anything worn or damaged and you replace it. So the idea is that anything old and broken, you don't want to have that energy in the new year. You want all new and fresh. You want new opportunities. You clean up old stacks of like newspapers you have having around. If you've got a pile of mail on a desk, all that's clutter. And you get rid of all that. So I went through my kitchen and anything that was like broken or chipped that, happened during the year, you get rid of it. Because you want everything to be new and in perfect shape.
If
So
you
the
have
idea is that
something, sorry, if you have something you like, it's chipped, you should throw it.
you don't have to, but I'm saying in general,
Okay.
if you have like a broken like mixer or something, and if it's meaning to throw it out, you throw it out before Chinese New Year. Because it means that you can't create food with it. Okay. So the idea is to clear away stagnant energy and remove last year's problems and make room for new beginnings.
What's the beginning of that sentence? Sorry, I didn't get
Make
it.
room for new beginnings.
No, what you say? What happens when
You
you
get
throw
rid of
this
last
out?
year's problems. So anything that was broken was a problem, right? So you get rid of that, you throw it out, and you make room for new beginnings. Traditionally, you never shower or clean on New Year's Day.
Really?
Oh, shucks, I really.
So I showered yesterday to wash my hair
Why?
because you don't want to wash away your good luck.
Oh, my God.
And I didn't clean today.
Oh, my
I cleaned my kitchen yesterday.
For some crazy reason, I'm so itchy. I never had this in my life. So I have to wash myself.
Well, there are always exceptions to the rule. I'm just
Okay,
saying
good.
what culturally,
I understand.
what the customs are and what the reasons for the customs are. Now you can't, like everything else, you don't have to necessarily follow it. It's not, in stone. But you do what works. Like, I'm going to give you a ritual to do tonight that I'm not going to do tonight. I traditionally do because my husband is sick. So if you're sick, you shouldn't do certain things. Then you wait for an auspicious day to do it. So we'll discuss that.
So everybody in China is doing this?
No.
Oh.
So supposedly, when the communists took over, everything got wiped out. I had a fantastic Tai Chi teacher in Chinatown. He was an engineer and a martial artist. He was imprisoned.
Jeez.
For two reasons. He was an engineer and a martial artist. And his family, that were well educated, had to work on farm. So that's how severe it was. But a lot of this went underground. A lot of people continued to do it, but in secret. It wasn't accepted by the government. It was very severe. All right, so now we're going to talk about today, New Year's Day. You're supposed to set off fireworks before dinner, and you eat a symbolic meal for dinner. You eat dumplings. Dumplings you get, they're the shape of an ingot, which is ancient Chinese money. So eating dumplings is like eating wealth. You eat long noodles that are uncut for long life. So if you're going to make like your own noodles, you don't break them in half. But never with pasta either. But you eat long noodles for longevity. You have mandarin oranges, which are for good luck and prosperity.
And the other oranges, it has to be mandarin.
Any orange will do.
I just had one.
You eat fish for abundance and success. And you eat small, sweet rice balls that are for family unity and fulfillment. So you can eat anything, sweet. I used to get chocolate covered fortune cookies to get them from some little place in the Midwest that made them when I would have Chinese New Year's parties. So anything that's sweet.
It's good for what?
I usually get fortune cookies
For, what was the reason?
for the last thing for sweet rice balls. For the meal, you need fish, you need longevity
I know,
noodles,
but
you
you
need,
told us what each one is, but I didn't get the sweet one.
oh, the sweet is for family unity and fulfillment.
Performance?
Fulfillment,
Fulfillment.
your wishes and your dreams come true, you're fulfilled.
I'm gonna have to buy a lot of fortune cookies.
I'm going to go to a Chinese restaurant tonight.
Okay. Jean, will you pass out the red envelopes? Everyone gets a red envelope.
Thank you. You know, the funny thing, in the Chinese house, my husband and I have worked. But in the,
No, so I didn't get it. I need to slap and go over the red envelope.
and in the Western, the Gemini and the water, what is that? What's the water, February?
Pisces.
Pisces, not Pisces, before Pisces, it's,
Aquarius?
Aquarius, thank you, are the best. So one tells me one way, one the other, and I have a relationship with both.
Oh, this is gorgeous.
Everyone get one?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. No, I just love it.
Okay. So this is called Hong Bao. Red envelope.
What did you say it was what?
Hong Bao. It means red envelope.
Red envelope.
The red envelopes are typically filled with money. They symbolize luck, blessing, and protection.
Symbolize love.
Unbound.
Hong Bao. They symbolize
It's spelled with the
Luck.
Bow.
Bao. B-A-O.
B-A-O.
And what else?
They symbolize luck, blessings, and protection. So typically, parents and grandchildren give them to their children on New Year's Day. But not limited to that. You can give them to friends, you can give them to employees. Or for me, if I get a feng shui payment, I have part of it given to me in a red envelope.
Say that again?
When I do feng shui for a client, let's say I'm charging them $600. And they don't want to give me $600 in cash for some reason, but they don't have to. But if they give me part of the money in a red envelope, then I put that envelope on my altar and I empower it to help with my feng shui adjustments. So another purpose of the red envelope is that it protects me from your karma. When you give me something in a red envelope, I'm protected from the things that I helped you with your karma. So it's also protection. So when we give envelopes, we say gong shi, which means congratulations, ba sai, which means you're already healthy, wealthy, and prosperous. So another thing that we do in feng shui is that we build the intention, the result, into the action. So by giving you this, I'm saying congratulations, you're already getting good luck, health, prosperous from the minute I give you the envelope.
Do you know how much money has to be like?
It has to always be, it always has to be 9.
Huh?
Has to be 9.
9?
Or like $9, $18, $27,
Oh,
$108.
That sounds like the Jewish.
9 is the number of completion. There is no 0. Only 1 through 9. Okay, so now we can have the next chart. Okay, now we're going to talk about welcoming the wealth gods. Now, I gave you in your envelope a wealth god ceremony. You can do it tonight. So you probably don't know what a wealth god looks like. So this is a wealth god. They have these elaborate robes and these big gold headdresses. So this is something that usually you do at the end of the day, Chinese New Year. You light incense and hold it in your hands in the prayer position. So you take a stick of incense, and you put it between your fingers like this. Okay. You walk 100 steps from your front door. If you live in a house, or if you're in an apartment in New York City, like we are, you walk 9 steps. Then you visualize the wealth gods appear in the sky in brightly colored robes and gold hats. You see them coming. This is a lot about visualization. Then you say, I respectfully invite all the wealth gods from all the directions to my home. Say your name and address. Do this 4 times, turning in the 4 directions. So I leave my apartment. We walk 9 steps with my husband. We both have our incense, and we both say our name and addresses 4 times. We ask the wealth gods to come with us. Then you walk back to your front door, and you see them following you. So I'm very visual and painter. I can hear their robes rustle. I mean, I just can see them coming behind me like nobody's business.
You mean actually?
No, I see them in my
In
mind.
your mind,
I visualize it. Good visualization.
created.
Yeah, you see it in your mind. Then you open your door wide and you invite them in. You put lights on in all your rooms. And you ask them to happily reside in your home and accept your offerings. So what I do is I walk with the incense through every room and I talk to them. I said, well, gods, this is my living room. Please reside here. Well, God, this is my dining room. And I talk to them like they're there. Then you place the incense on an altar or someplace in your house. You get a piece of fruit, put it in the kitchen, stick the incense in the piece of fruit. That's what I do when I go to clients' places and they don't have incense holders or altars. And then you once again say, please accept my offerings and reside in my home, blessing us with wealth and prosperity in the new year. And that concludes the ritual.
Is that something they do every year?
A lot of people do. I do it, my clients do it. My family does it. I had a birthday dinner with my son, his in-laws, and like 2 weeks ago, they all got red envelopes, they all got the rituals, and they all got their Chinese astrology. So they get their asses out and they do it.
So this happens today.
It's tonight, if you can do it. I'm gonna do it a different day because my husband's not well enough, and we do it together. But sometimes if you do it with more than one person, has more power, right? In groups. So you have someone you live with, or you have children that want to do it, or your spouse. It's good to do it together. Okay. Well, now, on the 15th day after Chinese New Year, you hang red lanterns over your door.
You don't do it today. You would do
No,
it
the 15th day.
2 weeks
2
from
weeks.
now.
Yes,
15 days.
15 days. It's called the Lantern Festival. So that's beginning. We start with the beginning of the 2 weeks before with the preparation and thanking the kitchen god. And then now we're going to end. Now, people keep on, after Chinese New Year Day, people keep on giving red envelopes to employees, and they visit people and they share food and whatever. But on the 15th day, it's the end. And it's the Red Lantern Festival. So You're supposed to hang red lanterns over your doors. They hang them on street lampposts or in village squares. So, sometimes you'll see people just carrying red lanterns on poles, walking through the street. Then that night you eat dumplings again, and you set off more fireworks. And the New Year celebration comes to an end. Finito. The symbolism of the red lantern is that red is auspicious, I'm wearing today. It brings prosperity and good luck. Lighting the lanterns brightens your path for the new year. Okay.
But you said red is what again?
Brings prosperity and good luck. The Chinese red is like the number one color. Because it's auspicious and it brings good luck. So, in conclusion, I'm going to go over the key points of the year. So, the fire horse year is dynamic. It's unpredictable. It's full of promise. Energy runs high. Movement rules the year. Creativity expands. And people should act boldly. You need to let go of the old, make room for the new, and stay flexible. Think strategically, not impulsively. You have to stay in the saddle to harness the horse's energy.
You have to what?
Stay in the saddle,
Oh, I got it.
ride the horse by focus and awareness. So, any questions?
You actually repeat that list that you just read for the dynamics and
Okay, dynamic,
predictability.
unpredictable,
Overall,
unpredictable. Can you hear it? Full of promise,
full from
energy runs high.
what is it?
Energy. High energy. Full octave fuel. Movement rules the year. Movement. The horse moves, yeah, movement.
Is the fire horse different from the horse?
Yeah.
A regular.
Horses fire anyway.
Mhm.
But the animal has, for the new year, always has an element. If it was a water horse, the water would already be keeping tabs on the fire horse, slowing it down. If it was an earth horse, it would be creating the fire, making it more volatile.
So how do you know which element it has, the horse?
You need an almanac, a Chinese almanac.
And they'll tell you. It was every year is different, is that what it is? Every 12 years.
Every day is different almanac. I read the Chinese almanac every day. Every day I know that there's a different element. There's a different animal. And there's different other things that I use that help me decide what I'm going to do that day.
I thought it was every 12 years or something. It's not that, it's every day.
No, the fire horse is every 60 years. Because
That's right.
it's 12 animals and
Wow.
5 elements. So it's considered a very special. It's considered very special because you can get things done this year. But you gotta be careful. You gotta not burn out. So this year there's a lot of creativity expands. Because fire is creativity. There's a lot of bold action. And this is when you want to let go of the old and make room for the new. This is the year you can just get rid of old habits, old relationships, old furniture. You know, anything that doesn't fit you anymore. This year gives you the impetus to do it. You have to stay flexible because things are coming at you very fast. You got to be able to bob and weave. And you have to think strategically, not impulsively. Because it's too much impulse. You need strategy. So it's a very fine line. Because you have to know when to move. And you have to know when to stay quiet. And by not moving, you don't want to miss opportunity. So it's a very hard year to negotiate, to know when to move forward and when to just pull back.
So how do you know that?
Well, partially, believe it or not, some of it is just instinct.
What is
You know, instinct.
Oh.
That, you know, at some point, you know, you get to know yourself a little better this year. It's like, do I really need to do this? Is this part of this overextending yourself? Doing too much multitasking. I'm a sign. I'm an ox. Ox gets the job done. Ox does everything. So I'm the person. My husband says I'm gonna go to the post office. I'll do it. Because by the time he gets his clothes on, I've been to the post office and back. So that's not good. So I had to learn to not do everything for everybody. So that's a part of learning about yourself. And that's very good about this year. Because you're gonna have to be more selective about, like, do I really need this? Do I really need to do this? It's also good about, so I've done a lot of individual astrology already. It's a good year for people just to get rid of bad relationships. This year you can do it. If there's someone that's just a drag on you, and you've been like dying to like tell them to like shove off, this is the year you can do it.
And you're being polite.
Do it nicely. I always say, you know, sweet talk says the best. You know, people think I'm very sweet. I'm a real bitch. Now, another part of my astrology is I'm a sixth metal. I'm like a sword. I'm like a father. It's like I put my foot down. People don't expect it, but I do. So you have to know.
But that's not being a bitch, that's being strong.
That's being in scoping and balance.
Right.
I'm a sixth metal. It's a different system. A sixth metal in control makes good decisions, righteous decisions, speaks appropriately. When I'm out of control, I'm like, I don't shut up. When I'm out of balance. When I'm out of balance in the other way, I have nothing to say. So you've got to learn to find your own balance and your own boundaries. And the year has the energy to support it. So, you know, it's trial and error. As you go along, you make your decisions and you see how it's going. But in general, it's a very big year. You make a lot of changes in your life for the better. I mean, this is the whole point. That all of this energy and all this creativity, all of this boldness and all the horses, you know, strength will help you get to where you need to go.
And if you don't do it, you suffer.
If you don't do it, you're left in the dirt. Once you
become
fall off the
depressed.
horse,
You become depressed.
you know, it's like, it's not inaction only is appropriate when it's necessary. Inaction just as a way of life is not good. It is depression. So all these things that, you know, we talked about, spending time with your family, doing things socially, communing with nature, taking more walks, learning to do Tai Chi or Qigong. These are all very good, very grounding, and very centering. And they help you find your center. Okay, any
Thank you
questions?
very much.
You're welcome.
It's very-
Wanted to know about the yin yang
No, the feng shui.
feng shui.
The feng shui is one of the 5 profound studies in Chinese culture. Chinese culture is over 5,000 years old. Much older than Western culture. Much, much older. So in all those years, there have been many emperors and there have been many, what can I say? A lot of the disciplines have changed and morphed through the centuries and through the teachers and whatever. So through time, they've changed, and different men, different masters and different emperors have created different systems. But in general, feng shui is one of the 5 profound studies, and it's considered the healing art of place and placement. So what it entails is that in feng shui, you want to create positive energy, which basically is described as rising qi. And you want to get rid of or suppress negative energy. So you do this in your environment, you do this with your health, you do it the way you think. So in feng shui, when I do a consultation, I first do the person's astrology. It's like this. It's not like, Western New Year's. It's like you drink some champagne, put on a hat, make a resolution, and then break it. Very involved. So when I do feng shui, you're in it for the long haul, which I tell people. I'm not going to tell you just to move the capture. But first I do your Chinese astrology, because if I don't know what your 4 pillars are, then I don't know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And I have to also use that how I adjust your environment. Like if my client was a fire horse, I would tell them to do a lot of things that we're talking about today. Get a water feature, get like a water feature, water, I would do a lot of this. So you take into account where they live. Now, not just their house, the street, and the house number. What the environment is around where they live. Because that all affects you. It affects the feng shui. So if you live on a good number, if you live across from a cemetery, I think you should move. So I did feng shui for people that the house was so bad, the energy was so awful, and they told me it was built over a Civil War burial ground. So like that, but let's get out of here. Now, like no feng shui is gonna help you get rid of all this energy. So then take that into that's part of the sort of the overall view. Then you go into your house and you see where the front door is. The house has a shape and the rooms are in the shape. And we use something called a bagua, which is a map that we lay over everything. And the bagua has different sections in it. It has 9 sections. And there's a section that's family, a section that's benefactors, a section that's money, blah, blah, blah. So I look at where the front door is. If they have a front door and benefactors, that's fantastic. These are always going to have helpful people.
There was the one.
Helpful people. A benefactor is someone who helps you. So you always want to, take care of your benefactor section wherever you live. Then if the shape of the, or if the door has to always be in benefactors. Or in, usually in, the mountain, which is, about learning about yourself. It's about knowledge. And if it's in the middle, then it's about one water, which is new beginnings. So that has to always start with the bottom of the bottom one. But then if the house is in a regular shape, or the building or the apartment is in a regular shape, there might be sections that are missing. You might be missing relationships. You might be missing money. You might be missing new road. So if those are missing, then we have to try to adjust the environment to open up that space to the energy. If it has space is, let's say, square, and it's got a little thing that sticks out, that's called an extension. So that means you get more of that square. So if you have an extension in relationships, which is attached to your relationship water, then that means you have a really good relationship. So it's a matter of then adjusting the space. Then after that, so there are different cures that we do to adjust the space. And then again, if it's totally hopeless, I just say, I can do, a feng shui adjustment, but they only last for 5 years. And then it's gotta get out of Dodge. You can't do it short for more than 5 years. So you don't tell people you have to pack up your bags tonight. So you do what you can to adjust the space.
Does that mean decluttering or what?
Well, feng shui is it's not exactly. It's not having clutter is never good because it holds you back. If things that are like too much of something, it takes too much of your energy, so it doesn't let you move on. And then after that, there are 3 things that are important: your bedroom, your bathroom, and your kitchen. So the kitchen is important because we had the food god that we thanked for the year. In the kitchen, you need to have like a good working stove, because the burners represent feeding your family and income. So in feng shui, a good cure is that we put a mirror behind the stove. Guess what? 4 burners become 8 burners. You double your ability to make money. So these are just feng shui cures, right? Then the next thing is your bedroom, where you sleep. So your bedroom has to be a place where from your bed, you can see the door. But if you're a general in an army, you have to see who's coming at you. So the good general can see the door from their bed. So if you've got the door behind you, you lose control. You have much control of your life. Then the bathroom. The bathroom is a money drain, because when you flush the toilet, the chi goes down the toilet. So you have to always keep the toilet lid down. My bathroom in my master bedroom is in money. So I put the big wave in that bathroom facing out to send the water energy back into the apartment. So that's a feng shui cure.
So you say you always have to put the lid down, you say?
Yes, because it's a money drain. The water going down is like your money, you're losing your money.
Is 88 a good number?
Yeah.
That's a good number. One thing is, my husband's a rat and I'm a horse, and they're not supposed to get along, right?
The rat and the horse are best friends.
Rat.
Oh, good,
You
thank
said
you.
rat.
rat, yeah,
Rat and the horse.
Oh, the rat.
yeah, the rat.
No, not the rat.
Yeah, that's us. 52 years
Yeah.
ago,
Rat.
rat.
The rat is, the horse doesn't like the rat.
I know. I know that.
Are you the horse?
I'm the horse, he's the rat, and we're together 52 years.
So, I've been doing some rat astrology, and normally the worst relationship to the animal of the year suffers. This year, really, no sign suffers because there's so much movement and transformation that the rat, pretty much, the only thing the rat has to do, this year is very good for the rat because the rat likes the movement. Doesn't bother the rat. The rat likes all the change. The rat can take the chaos. They have no problem with it. But they get so busy with the year. They have to slow down and they have to learn how to finish what they start.
Who, the rat or the horse?
Rat.
Rat.
That's the main thing that I've been reading about rats. They're very fast. They love this year. But they have to finish what they start.
Yeah.
Because they can just go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing.
Now, unfortunately, I have these tenants, and when they came in, the first 2 days, she says that there are evil spirits and the pots and pans are moved. I had such trouble with them at the beginning. Little by little, I'm learning to, be okay with them and everything else. But that's not a good. I think I should get them out.
Well, if you don't like them, yeah, get them out.
But I don't like to get people out.
Just don't renew their lease.
No, it's not so easy. But
Is there any correlation between the Chinese Eva calendar, lunar or solar, and the 12 figures, and the Western
No.
zodiac? Okay.
Not as Zippo.
Okay.
But according to the Western, our two signs are the best, the
Russell,
Aquarius and the Gemini. Who knows?
everyone, you can do what works for you.
Exactly.
I've done doing this for now 21 years. And I've had a lot of clients. And I find that these things are real. And once, one of the things that you learn, the more clients you have, the more the pupil always teaches the teacher. The pupil comes to you, you need to learn something. So every time I would do astrology or feng shui consultations with someone, I learned something. And then what happened is that one of the things we learned when I was at school for 3 years, we learned hundreds and hundreds of techniques, mantras, cures, Tibetan cures, Indian cures. And we did the whole gamut. And in the end, we were taught, what do I do for my clients? Do I do this Tibetan mantra or do I use the Taoist mantra? And the universal answer is you do what works for you. So for me, over the years, having so many clients and so many different signs, I learned a lot about the signs, more than I would just reading about it. Because it's a story, and there's a family, there's a apartment that all has to do with it. So it becomes, it's kind of anecdotal. It's kind of
what?
like an anecdote, like a story.
Yes.
In my mind, because I can go back and it's like I have 2 clients that were pigs. Pigs like comfort and luxury. So what do they have in their living room by the fireplace? 2 matching leather couches with 2 cashmere blankets. Pigs, right? Comfort and luxury. So there you go. Seeing is believing.
And also your health, like from nowhere, I never had this itching all over. Maybe it's the heat in the house. I don't know what it is. It's not terrible, but it's uneasy somewhere. But it's gonna go away. I don't know what that means. Who knows?
Could be an allergic reaction to something.
Yeah.
I'm online. I just want to mention this seems to be an extremely auspicious time. It's Fat, whatever, Tuesday, and also the start of Ramadan. So it seems very, very powerful to this all lines up on today.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's true.
That was God.
Oh.
So does anybody else online have anything? I know we've had a lot of questions from people in center, but if anybody else has any other comments or questions online, you can put it in the chat. If you don't want to speak, I'm happy to read it.
Thank you very much.
I have a question. I mean, the 2 weeks before the Chinese New Year. Okay, you get to today. Can you um can you just say it's the 2 weeks before and start all those things now and have it be
No, yeah, before you start certain the preparation. Today, you have 15 more days till the Lantern Festival, where you give out red envelopes, you visit clients, you give red envelopes to friends, you can have family dinners, you enjoy the new year, and then on the 15th, you raise the red lanterns, and it's the official end to the year, to the Chinese New Year celebration. So today's New Year's Day. There's 15 more days until the Lantern Festival.
So I think what she was asking though is could you do some of that preparation now and still have it count? I think, is that the question you were asking?
Yes, absolutely.
It's all good.
Okay.
Just not today.
Just
Today-
that today. Okay. I
Wash. Because then you wash away or you sweep away your good luck. But not just any day, but not today.
How long does that? I had heard once that could be like for 3 days, but say tomorrow I can decide to pay all those bills that I should have paid and taken care of the taxes that I haven't dealt with. I can start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Today.
Okay.
Today you just want to have a nice meal, celebrate.
Okay.
Tomorrow you can do things until the Red Lantern Festival.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, today.
You're welcome.
I just want to mention one other thing. I had heard instead of the firecrackers, you could play really loud rock and roll by the door to instead of lighting off the firecrackers. I don't know. Is that can you do that in place of the firecrackers?
Anything that makes a lot of noise.
Okay, so anything that's you said is a lot of noise. It was hard to hear you. So just anything that creates noise is equivalent to the firecrackers.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and I gotta say, you learned a lot. And anybody wants to hear it again, we've recorded it. And thank you, Christine.
My pleasure.